guys, what's up? So I wanted to pop on here today and talk a little bit about weight loss and just my journey. Even though I met my weight loss goal, it's been about 3 years ago now, I still have, the ups and downs of maintaining weight loss and just kind of the things that you go through after you have a major weight loss. Later on, I'm going to definitely discuss those things that maybe a lot of people don't talk about after major weight loss and some of the struggles that I had during. But first, I want to talk about how I lost the weight. So I really wanted to break down my journey, kind of starting with just a very brief overview of what the timeline looked like, some of the biggest struggles that I had, and then some of the greatest outcomes and things that I learned from losing about 100 pounds. So I'm going to start with when my journey started, which was about April 2016 was when I kind of started thinking like, hey, I would like to lose some weight. I had previously lost back in 2011 almost 100 pounds. Then life happened and I wasn't able to maintain that. I didn't lose the weight in a very healthy way the first time around. So I'm going to focus mostly on the second time that I lost the weight because that was more maintainable. So the reason I want to talk about my second go around with weight loss is because I believe that was the most successful one. Obviously, I have maintained it now for 3 years. Not only have I maintained it, but it's led me to bigger adventures, I guess, bigger successes. It got me into sports and it just got me into being able to continue to live the lifestyle, and that's the important thing, right? The second time I lost the weight and when it stuck, so to me that's when it matters. Of course I learned a lot about that first time, but I started the second time because I got sucked into the MLM thing. Plexus was being sold by some people I knew, so I was like, I'm gonna sell that, but if I'm gonna sell it then I have to do healthy things, right? Because that's usually how those things go, which is why some of those things work really great. Like maybe it's not the actual drink you're taking or the shake or the supplement, but it is the fact that you usually get this accountability group and then you start to get really excited. You're like, oh, I want to be successful because if I'm successful, I'm going to be able to sell this product, right? So it does motivate you to put in the work and that's great. But I quickly realized that I didn't need to be spending money on a product in order to lose weight. I was like, let me take this product out of the equation and see what happens. And guess what? I had the same success. So I really didn't need that product all along. So I switched to just eating low carb, which now keto is like the super popular thing. You can buy keto snacks everywhere. Everywhere has keto things on the menu, but back when I did it, it was more low carb and it was based off of the Atkins diet, whereas keto is like the cool thing. Everybody does it. When I did low carb, you couldn't find low carb snacks. You couldn't find keto things. Like if you were eating low carb, you were making everything at your own house. You couldn't go to a restaurant really and get low carb. Like it just wasn't the thing. And that made it really hard in a way, but at the same time, I really learned a lot about cooking, which I've always been into cooking, and I think that's one of the biggest things. If you aren't really into cooking or don't have interest in it, I do think that that can negatively impact your weight loss journey. Another thing that made me able to be successful with my weight loss journey is that I live alone, and I think that not having kids or a spouse or anybody else influencing my eating habits on a regular basis made it a bit easier for me, because if you have a spouse or somebody, or partner, or roommates, whatever, that are eating junk, then it's very difficult for you to stay on track. Of course, I still went out with family and friends and stuff like that, and I still had to have the willpower to be like, you know what, no, I'm not eating that. I have this thing going, and I'm going to stick with this thing. So I really fell in love with the rewards of losing weight. I got so excited when I stepped on the scale and I saw results, and I fell in love with being able to reward myself for my accomplishments. And so it wasn't just the weight that I was losing, it was being able to say, hey, I set this goal. I told myself I was going to do this, and I did, because there literally is no reward like seeing that you're capable of doing what you set out to do. So I got super excited every time that I was able to have the week go by and then say, hey, look what I did. Look at me being successful. And then it made me motivated to keep doing it the next week, because if you're seeing results, results, you're going to keep doing it. And so every time you fall off the wagon, yeah, you shouldn't just throw everything out the window and say, gosh, forget it. You want to keep the momentum going. You want to keep doing the things that you're doing to get results so that every week you can give yourself a little pat on the back and say, hey, I did it. I killed it, and I'm going to come back and kill it next week. So anyway, I lost about 100 pounds through eating low carb and then eventually transferring over to calorie counting after I lost about 60 pounds. And I used a Fitbit and the Fitbit app to track calories. A lot of people use MyFitnessPal, but I just used the Fitbit app because it's really similar to MyFitnessPal. There's really no reason to have both if you have a Fitbit, but if you have like an Apple Watch or a Garmin or something, then you're going to need to use MyFitnessPal because you can't track calories on their apps. But previous to using Fitbit, I actually used Noom, which is a super great app. I used that the first time that I lost weight, and it was super helpful. You can also track calories and everything in there like you would with MyFitnessPal. But I kind of like the way that theirs works a little bit more, and it's so cool because I can go back, and I'm gonna try to pop that up on the screen here and see if you can see kind of my data, because I could go back to the first time I lost weight and I could see how long it took me to lose this amount, and I could see like my previous successes and be excited about the work that I was putting in again. And that's the same with Fitbit. You can go back and kind of see like your workouts and your food logs and stuff. However, with Noom, what I really liked was the weight loss chart. So that was super cool to see. So now that I've been maintaining weight, I actually use a Garmin and I don't track calories anymore, but I do eat super healthy. Most of the time I do have treats and I do run a lot and work out a lot. So I do eat a lot of food, but that's because that is conducive to my current lifestyle. I have to fuel my body. Before, I wasn't moving my body as much, so my body didn't need as much food. Trust me, it took me a really long time to learn about that. And I'm going to talk about that as these videos go on. I also did do in-body analysis, which some gyms and other like vitamin shops and stuff like that, they have the in-body scales, which is pretty cool because you can see not only how much fat you're losing, but how much muscle you're gaining, and the scale can make more sense. When I first started losing weight, I had a personal trainer. I mostly just did weightlifting. I slowly added in like a little bit of leisurely biking and then some elliptical. And then I joined a group training gym where there was a super good combination of like cardio stuff and lifting. And then I started getting into Spartan racing, which really fueled my fire to become an athlete. And I was able to, after I had lost that weight, I really transformed, and now I'm a competitive athlete. I love Spartan racing. 2019 super changed for me. I started a very regular running program. I had a coach that is specific to my sport. I still have that coach. I was able to find a passion for something outside of losing weight. So that was my biggest struggle, is once I had lost the weight, I was like, what do I do now? Because I had gotten passionate about it. I had gotten passionate about being able to eat healthy and being able to meet these goals. And then I had no goals to meet anymore. So I really needed to get something in front of me that I could keep working towards. And with racing, I always have something to work towards. So at first I just started doing racing in the open heats that weren't really competitive, but still pushed me so much. I mean, the hardest thing I'd ever done, and finishing the race gave me literally the best feeling I could ever feel. And then moving into the competitive racing, I realized that I was competitive. I never knew. I didn't really know that I was an athlete. I had played sports in high school, but it was nothing like it has become for me now, because now I see what I'm capable of, and I get so excited that I can keep setting new goals in the fitness world. And I sometimes have to rein it in with my eating. Like right now, I'm not working out quite as much because I'm rebuilding my fitness back up for next season, but I have to remind myself like, hey, you can't eat like that every day. So I super love cooking, which has made it so much easier for me, I feel like, than some other people to lose weight. I loved, when I was doing it, I loved calorie counting. It took a while to get used to, but I just found it fun. I felt like accomplished when I was able to figure out how many calories in a whole recipe and then divide it up, and it just kind of felt like my thing, but it's not for everybody. So if you guys join me on this channel, I am going to talk about so many things weight loss related, and hopefully I can inspire you and help you to be successful in your own weight loss. And I gladly welcome any questions that you guys have about weight loss. Honestly, I feel like I've tried it all. I had done Beachbody. I had done If It Fits My Macros. I had done keto, regular low carb. I've done paleo. I have done so many different fad diets, and I finally settled for just calorie counting because then I could eat whatever I wanted, essentially within reason, and that just worked for me. And I feel like long term that was the most doable. So anyway, on this channel, I'm going to talk about tools for weight loss, such as apps, scales, workout equipment, that type of stuff, psychological tools like self-monitoring, having accountability partners, those type of things, because those are really important. Having a background in psychology, I feel like I really used a lot of those tools that I had learned about, and so I really want to talk about those. I am going to teach you guys how to cook some healthy recipes that I realize might come easy to me, like making simple spaghetti or making a simple homemade soup. To me, that's simple because I grew up watching those things be made and I had interest in seeing them made. But I realized that not everybody had that same experience, so I will be doing some vlogging, and a lot of the vlogging is going to talk about like making different meals and stuff. Most of my vlogs will be like fitness and food related. If you guys are interested learning about tools to use for weight loss, whether it's actual like apps or scales and those type of things, or it's psychological type tools, if you're interested in learning how to cook healthy, and I'm going to talk about some calorie counting and those different types of things. If you're interested in learning about how to get inspired and stay inspired to keep losing weight and crushing your goals, then I hope you guys will join me on this channel. Hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and I really am excited to bring more content about weight loss and fitness journeys, and I'm hoping that I could do a Q&A sometime. So if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. I also have an Instagram. It's Amber_May, MAE_Nelson. It's the same as my YouTube channel. But if you guys just have any questions or anything, please feel free to send me a DM and ask me, or leave a comment below. I definitely want to interact with you guys, and I am really excited to share this journey. I followed a lot of people on Instagram sharing their journeys back when I was losing weight, and I would really like to be one of those people to help inspire others the way that I was inspired. I know there's a lot of fitness people out there, and what I really think I have to offer is the fact that I might have struggled sometimes and had unhealthy relationships with food, and I definitely wasn't successful in my first weight loss. But I feel that now that I've gotten into sport and I have a regular workout routine, I really understand the healthy approach to weight loss, and honestly, I want to give tips that will help it be an easier, more healthy process for you. I am no nutritionist. I am not. But I've done a lot of research, and I feel like becoming an athlete helped me understand the healthy side of eating a lot more, and I feel like a lot of people are being encouraged to do things a really unhealthy way, and I just want to make sure that doesn't happen, because I want your weight loss to last, and I want you to not have as many struggles as I did during my weight loss journey, and that I still have sometimes now during my maintenance. I've been maintaining for 3 years. I still have issues with kind of body dysmorphia. I still have issues realizing that I'm not the person I used to be. I still have issues with taking time off from exercise and worrying about how much food I am allowed to eat. And I don't like that my brain works like that, and I don't want it to. But because I had told myself certain things during my journey, it reverts back to that. And so I just want to help everybody have a very successful and healthy weight loss journey. So please give this video a like if you like what I had to say. Subscribe if you want to hear more. I'm going to be taking requests for video ideas, and I am so excited to inspire you all.